viewers, welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani from Department of Computer Science, Aryabhatta College, University of Delhi. So presently we are actually learning introduction to programming in C++ in a series format, and we have, in the previous lectures we have completed many of the topics, including the one which we have already which we are currently on to, and that is flow control. So in flow control, in the previous class we have seen that there are basically 7 types of flow controls, but in this series we will be taking up only 3, which are sequence, selection and iteration. So we have completed with sequence and some part of selection. In the selection statements we have already covered if, nested if else and else if ladder. So today's agenda is, yes, selection statements, but within the selection statements we will be taking switch case. Now coming to what actually this switch case statement is. So as I have told you that this is one of the statements or one of the flow control statements which is going to help you in choosing one branch. So typically this is a selection statement. How to use this? Now here we are going to test a particular variable for equality against a list of values, and within this list of values each value is known as case. So let's say we are having a variable I, and we will be checking that whether this variable I is equals to 1, 2, 3 or 5. So we will be having 5 cases: case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4 and case 5. So each value against which that variable is being checked, that value is known as case, and here the agenda is to test a variable for equality, and the variable which is being passed or which is being switched on is which is being checked for each case. So we have a variable I here and we are going to check its equality value. So yes, in order to understand it more appropriately, we can say it is a multi-way branch statement. So whenever I am saying multi-way branch statement, so earlier we have also seen nested if else and else if ladder. But what happens if there is a long if statement? So in case of a long if statement, let's say for example that if a statement is having for example 8, 9, 10 branches within one another, or maybe in the form of else if ladder. So it is going to increase the complexity of the program, and it is going to hamper the readability of the program. So here the savior is switch case statement, which is we are going to substitute for long if statements, and that we are going to compare a variable to many of the integral or integer values. So basically switch case statement is a control statement that allows a value to change control of the execution. So if value is 2 and it is checked against 2, then the body which is written inside the case 2 will be executed. So that means control of execution is changed, or control of execution is falling in the block which is whose case value is matching with the variable which is checked for the equality. So actually it is going to provide an easy way to dispatch execution to different parts of code based on the value of expression. Let us see the flow diagram, try to understand this with the help of a flow diagram. So here we have an expression which is known as switch case expression more commonly, and if we having case 1, that means whatever the value of that expression is, if it is equals to 1, then code block 1 will be executed, and after the execution of code block 1 your control is coming to an end. If not, if the value of the expression, if the result of the expression or value of the variable written inside the expression is not matching with 1, then it is checked for an equality with 2. Then if it is equals to 2, then the code block 2 will be executed, and then it is control will come to an end. If it is not matching with 2, it will fall in the next place and it will be checked against 3, and if yes, code block 3 will be executed. So here we can have multiple code blocks from 1 to n, and after that we have a default statement. So default statement is there if any of the case is not being executed. That means the value of the expression is not getting matched with any of the case 1, case 2 and case 3. So one thing which is worth remembering here is we are actually checking expressions for equality with case values. That means we cannot check here whether my expression or the result of the expression or variable, let's say, whether my variable is greater than 1 or greater than 2 or less than 1 or less than 2. Directly we can check only for equality. Yes, there are some programming ways through which you can check for less than or greater than or other conditions too, but directly, if speaking directly, then only for equality it is being checked. So we will taking the expression. What kind of expression is this? I'll be sharing it very soon with you. So taking the value of expression, if that is equals to 1, code block 1 is executed. If that is equals to 2, code block 2 is executed, and so on and so forth. And if any of the values is not being satisfied or not being we can say pass the equality test, then the default statement is executed and the code block, which is the code block n, which is shown as code block n here, will be executed in case of the default statement. Now let's see what is the syntax of this switch case expression. So after this flow diagram, let's see how are we going to write this switch expression exactly. So we will write the keyword switch and then an expression. For example, let's say it could be I, or it could be expression. What kind of expression, that we will discuss. So for example, switch I, then a curly bracket, which is the sign of opening the block of switch case statements, then case and constant expression. For example, case 1 followed by a colon. Please notice the use of colon here. So case, the number 1, then colon, and what are the statements are there which you are going to execute, which you want to execute if the value of I is equals to 1, will be followed here. Then these statements can be multiple statements like 2, 3 statements or maybe more than that, which is followed by a break. Now break here is an optional thing. Why here is an optional thing? I will be telling you its significance in a short while. Then case, constant expression could be 2 here or could be 3 here. So case 2 colon, then the statements which we want to execute if it is if the value of I is equals to 2, then an optional break. And in this way we will be making blocks of each and every case, and you can have any number of case statements here. There is no restriction. And in case of default, now that default is optional, it's not necessary that we need to have a default statement here. So default and the statements which are to be executed in case I is not equal to any of the values of constant expressions given in the cases above, then the default statements will be executed. Now let's see how. For example, I am taking an example here where my variable is day and that day has been assigned, let's say 4. So I am giving switch, and within the switch I need to pass that expression, or I need to switch that variable which is to be tested for equality. And please notice that we have not used any sign in case where we are writing case 1. So that means that this is surely checking or simply checking whether the value of day is equals to 1. There is no sign of equals to, no sign of greater than, no sign of less than, nothing, no relational operator is given here. So yes, why? Because it is just checking for the equality. So now the value of day is 4. Now case 1 followed by a colon, cout Monday, and then break. So what exactly happens then in case 2? It will say cout Tuesday followed by a break. Case 3, see out Wednesday followed by a break. And similarly for Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Case 4, case 5, case 6 and case 7. So I have not used default statement here in this example. So coming to the dry run, so how it is going to take place? For example, the value of day here is 4. So it will be first checked with 4. So yes, 4 is there, the value of day. Is it equals to 1? No. Then that whole kind of statement still break of the case 1 is skipped. Now it will evaluate the second case, which is case 2. No, 4 is not equals to 2. Again it will evaluate it against case 3, not equals to. Now it will evaluate against case 4, which is Thursday. Case 4, yes, value of day is 4, and here the switch case statement is going to find one equality, and then it will, we can say it will enter inside the statement of case 4, and hence see out Thursday is written, hence Thursday is being printed, and then there is a break. So break signifies here that it need not to check 5, 6 and 7. Break says that it will now come out of this switch case statement. So break here is a kind of statement which is breaking the flow and throwing the flow control out of that particular statement in which break is written. So here break is written inside a case of the switch statement. That means break is throwing the control out of that switch statement. That means here break is saving our time. It is not actually allowing the control to check case 5, case 6 and case 7. So more on break soon, I will be taking it soon. So here see out Thursday will be printed, and then it will take in break and come out of the switch case statement. Now here are some rules which are applied in case of switch case statement. Now if I am talking about the situation of equality only, then the first and the foremost important rule says the expressions used in a switch statement must have either an integer value or a value which is of type enumerated, because we are checking for the equality. So switch statement must have an integral value or enumerated type. Then the second rule says, or the second condition says, that within the switch statement we can have any number of case statements from 1 to n. Each case, if you have noticed, is followed by a value to be compared. For example, case 4, case 3 and so on and so forth, and then there is a colon which I have already told you to notice. Then that constant expression which is written after the keyword case and then constant expression which is to be checked, for which the variable is to be checked, that constant expression for a case must be of the same data type as that of a variable in the switch. So that means you cannot say that variable I is of type integer, while here we are comparing it with case 1.0 or 1.1 and so on and so forth. So it is either it is going to be an constant or it is going to be an literal, but it is going to be of the same type as that of that variable in the switch. It cannot have any other data type. So whatever the data type of the variable inside the switch is, that data type will be of the constant expression, and this is a must condition. Then some other rules that says when the variable being switched on is equals to a case, then exactly what happens? The statement following the case will be executes until a break statement is reached. Now here it is very important, whenever I am saying the statement in case of a condition being satisfied of variable having value equals to the case constant expression, the statement following that case will execute until a break statement is reached. What does it mean? So that essentially means if I am not going to put break after the statements within a particular case, then another case will also be compared and the next case will also be compared and so on and so forth. So my point here is, let's say your variable is equals to your case constant expression which is written at the first place, right? So at first place now the statements will be executed because equality is being satisfied, and now what is happening that actually if you have not written break, it will keep on checking case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5 and so on and so forth, which is obviously a kind of time waste, because once one case expression has been found equal, then there is no point in checking other case expressions, because duplicate case expressions are also not allowed here. So there is no point in wasting on checking the other statements. One statement has already been satisfied. So yes, break there is very, very important. And then if there is a break statement, when that break statement is reached, the switch terminates. The switch terminates and the flow of control jumps to the next line following the switch statement. That means flow of control is thrown after on the line which is written after the switch statement. So yes, break is having kind of a very, very important role in controlling the execution or in controlling the flow of your switch case statement. Now what happens in if we are not placing the break, then also it is okay, but it will it will waste the time. So that's what break has been told as the optional thing, but yes, it is required in order to increase the efficiency or in order to raise the efficiency. So not every case needs to contain a break. If no break appears, then flow of control will fall through to subsequent cases until a break is reached. Now apart from break, one more important optional statement which was there was default. So a switch case statement can have an optional default case which must appear at the end of the switch. Default statement you cannot place anywhere in between, it must appear at the end of the switch. Why? Because default case is used for performing a task when none of the cases is true. So if none of the cases is true, default will take place, and after default, as in any case we are going to end the switch statement because default is at the last of the switch, no break is needed in case of default. So default can be used for performing a particular task in the situation when none of the cases written above are none of the cases written above holds true. Now as I have told you, when C++ reaches a break keyword, it is going to break out of the switch block. This is going to stop the execution of more code and case testing inside the block. So yes, ultimately we will be saving up time. When there is a match is found, the job is done, and actually it's a time for break, then there is no need for more testing. So a break can save a lot of execution time, as I have already told you, because it ignores the execution of all rest of the code in the switch block. So yes, here we are actually kind of done with the keyword break and its use. And in order to see the default keyword or the usage of default keyword, let's see a small snippet of code. So default keyword specifies the code to run if there is no case match, and as I have told you that this must be the last statement in the switch, and obviously being the last statement in the switch, it does not need a break. So I am taking the previous example, day is equals to 4 and modifying it a bit, right? And we are switching the expression of that particular variable day. Case 6 says today is Saturday, then a break. Case 7 says print today is Sunday and a break, and then default is printing looking forward to the weekend. So in this situation the value of day is 4, so it will be compared with 6, no match. Then it will be compared with 7, obviously no match. So both the cases are not having equality conditions satisfied. So the default statement which says printing looking forward to the weekend will be printed, and the final output of this code snippet will be looking forward to the weekend printed on your screen. So here is the use of default statement. Now before closing the topic, we have some very important points which are need to kept in mind, which are what are the valid expressions for switch. So constant expressions for switch are allowed. For example, let's say 1 plus 2 plus 3 or 1 plus 2 plus any other value. So that's an constant expression, or kind of a we can say a bit complicated constant expression. For example, 1 multiplied by 2 plus 3 mod 4. These kinds of constant expressions are allowed because they are going to give a particular value. But yes, we need to be careful that the value should be of type either integer or a constant or an enumerated type. Value should be of type valid. And variable expressions are also allowed, not only constant, but in place of constants you can also use an expression which is full of variables, but these variables are needed to provide with fixed values or needed to be assigned with fixed values. For example, if I am saying switch a multiplied by b plus c multiplied by d, then in this situation it is necessary that there are fixed values assigned for the variables a, b, c and d, or we can say on a simpler manner switch a plus b plus c. Similarly here we have to have the fixed values for all the variables which are a, b and c. So yes, we can have constant expressions, we can have variable expression in case of these are the valid expressions for the switch statements. Now coming to one concept which we have seen in the case of for, that was nest, which we have seen in the case of if, so we have seen nested if else statement. So here nesting of switch statements is also allowed. That essentially means that we can have one switch statement inside another switch statement. However, it is not actually we can say advisable to have nested switch statement, because the idea behind switch statement was we are trying to not use, or we are actually trying to avoid that long complicated else if ladder or maybe kind of nested if else statement. Long if statements we need to avoid with the help of switch statement to make my program more readable. So even what is happening if I am going to use switch within a switch, and then we are again back to, we can say, square one, and my program is becoming more complex and less readable. So yes, the nested switch statements are perfectly allowed, but we always advise to avoid it. Now the most kind of, we can say, basic program which is built using switch case statement in at UG level programming, or even in a shorter level of programming, is actually building a simple calculator using switch case statement, in which we are going to take one symbol which is either which is actually an operator, plus, minus, multiplication or division from the user. We will be taking two numbers also, and depending upon which operator user has given, we will be performing the same operation, that particular operation on the two given numbers. So, for this let us have let us have a quick look at this particular program, which is the program for a simple calculator using switch statement. So, I am just coming inside the main. There is an character variable which operation I need to perform, then two numbers num1 and num2, operator and num1 and num2. The three values have been asked from the user, and while taking the value for operation, we have specified through our cout message that the user needs to enter the operator plus, minus, multiplication or division, and then this switch OPR, as is in the form of characters are allowed in case of switch, character variables are allowed in case of switch. So, switch OPR, if case is plus, then sum of the two numbers will be printed, break. If case is minus, then subtraction of two numbers is printed. If case is multiplication, multiplication of two numbers is printed, followed by a break in each and every case. And if it is division, the division of num1 and num2 is printed. Now, here a very beautiful use of default is being done. Default says operators is not matching to any constant which is plus, minus, multiplication, division. So, if user, even after giving the warning through print statement, if user is going to print or if user is going to enter any other value, any value other than plus, minus, multiplication, division, in case of OPER, system is going to give an error. The operator is not correct because it is written inside the default statement, and then finally we have written 0 and we have completed our program. So, this is one of the very basic use or very basic program, I can say, which is being taught in order to see a complete a usage of switch expression. So, here in this lecture we have completed the one of the very basic conditional statement, which is a switch case statement in case of programming in C++. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you for a patient hearing.